Welcome everybody to what are we doing? This is tomorrow. Tomorrow we leave for Antarctica. I'm up here in the hotel room. Critical Think is right over there, and it's so exciting. It's been a whirlwind here. We got here like days ago, and it's been busy the whole time. We've done experiments. We've done measurements. We've even added some other ideas for what we do. Everything's written in this book here. So like for example, today, Critical Think and I went and measured the lapse rate of the water. Here, this is the magnetometer reading at Punta Arenas. Thank you, Andreas, for the custom code on the magnetometer. We looked for the Faro Baha'i Porvenir lighthouse. I looked at it at a low elevation. I looked at it out our window, could not find it. Documented here. Measured the lapse rate of the water, documented here. Documented here, photographs of it, all that. We determined true south. We got star trails last night. They're due south. There are star trails. Flat Earth requires that the stars move horizontally. They don't. Globe predicts that the stars move in a circle. They do. We got sunset and sunrise angles south of due east and west, both sunrise and sunset. After sunset, the sun goes. You can see the light. You can see the light on the horizon from southwest to southeast, and it sweeps across the sky. You can see it move. The sun goes there, and it's that way. It's not that way. I'm looking almost due south right now. It is so many things. It's not just one. This isn't just the sun doing circles in the sky that we will see tomorrow. This is piles and piles of evidence. Predictions that I've made, predictions that Critical Think has made, predictions that people have made, people have helped me with, and there so far everything is nailed. Every one of them. Flat Earthers have made zero predictions themselves. I've made predictions using what they say about the flat Earth. Some have said they disagree with my predictions, but they cannot provide a correct prediction. I say, correct me if I'm wrong, and they don't. The reason why they don't is because based on what they have said about the shape of the Earth, this is the application of it. This is correct. So, all right. So today we brought all our gear to ALE's warehouse. We met down in the lobby. We brought our bags. We handed it off to the courier, and then we walked over to the office, and we you know, picked the bag, brought it, they weighed it, they asked us a couple questions, they printed our boarding pass. I have my boarding pass already for the plane. They emailed us a boarding pass too, so we have both kinds. And they gave us instructions for tomorrow. So do you want to see some of the stuff that I have? So on the plane, I'll get on the plane wearing these. This is the bag, the big red bag that has that they gave us, that has the coat and the pants. You want to see me wear the coat? I'll wear the coat. You want to see the boots? Here's the boots. These big clumping boots. They're huge. We wear a couple layers of socks. And I'll show you the socks too. I'll get them just a second. So socks are in 2 layers. We've got thin socks, and then these boys are big, thick socks. They're super thick. So that's why we need the big boots. Mine are size 19 XX wide, of course. So never mind the 14 that it says there. All right, here's the coat. Sorry, these are the, I'm not going to unroll these. These are the pants, like the snow pants that we wear, that they provided. They're pretty thick. And here is the this is absolutely ridiculous. This coat is is so much coat. There you go. It's just George Costanza coat. I can't put my arms down. There's so much, there's just padding, just layers of padding. It's so cool. But these are the same coats. If you watched Mr. Beast, these are just the same coats that they wore when they went. So there it is. I'll put that away later. The computer is on the stand, the dresser in the room. Critical Think has the desk. I needed somewhere to put my stuff. So what did I do? I removed the TV. Like I was going to use the TV. I've been making videos. I've been making thumbnails. I've been uploading videos, raw video from the camera. I've been busy. So we've got this. This is a fleece pants that we'll wear. So what we wear on the plane is a smaller version of what we wear on the ground. Thin gloves, not a big deal there. These gloves are so cool. These were donated to Will. Will got these donated. These are the Vo gloves. Super nice. I love these. 3-finger, and again, you can take your hand out, put your hand back in without taking off the glove. So very nice gloves. These are the right size for my hands, which means that if I have the liners on, they are too small. So I won't be wearing these on the really cold days. They give us thicker gloves, or I have thicker gloves. I packed them. They're already there. So there you go. That's my gear that I'm wearing tomorrow. And I'll show you more of the gear, like probably in like one of the mornings. I'll go through in the tent the stuff that I put on. So, all right. Give us deets on today's drama. All right. There's been drama every day. So I'm not going to get into it a lot, okay? Because I want to have a good experience. I want to partner with everyone here. So I'm not going to trash anybody. I'll give you just a little overview. Um, um, Will did a video. If you watched his video on stuff that yesterday, today, the flat earthers were concerned that I'm planning to upload all of the videos that I have. Here, I'll show you. I'm using this camera here. So I've been walking around all the time with this camera going. Yeah, you can see me. You can see me in the. I've been walking around with this camera all the time, recording everything every night, copying it to the computer. I have two 4 terabyte hard drives. I copy it to one, I mirror it to the other. When I'm in Antarctica, I'll do similar and make sure that it, but also have another copy. I have several more hard drives. So each day I'll have another hard drive that's this day's data. And I track everything in this. So the experiments go in here, and the oh, we almost have a complete set of autographs here as well. Let's see. So here's the hard drive allocation tracking that I'm doing. So I offered to give hard drives to people. I gave Jaron 5 drives today, for example. Dave McKeegan took 5. Will has 5. I gave some to Critical Think. I gave one to Jonathan, who just to ferry some data back and forth. I had some recording that he wanted. So anyway, that's what I do. I have all my flights in here. Have I gone through this before? I don't know. So I know my flights. They're all in here, so I don't have to pull them out of somewhere else. So this is just kind of my everything goes in here. Will and I have brainstormed, and Critical Think and Dave with some ideas. It goes in here. So this will be a with me all the time on the ice. I was thinking, so it's a leather bound journal. I don't know how much it's like the Shackleton journals. They're larger, I know, but Shackleton was a prolific journaler, and when he was exploring Antarctica, he would write a whole bunch, and all of the original Shackleton journals are in the library at the South Pole Station. So if you want to check out one of Shackleton's journals, there's only one place to check them out in the whole world: South Pole Station. So the book, you know what? It's a beautiful book. Yeah, it was like $20. I ordered one, and I got it. My wife's like, it wasn't the same as this. It was a little smaller. She's like, that's so cool. I go, you can have it. So I gave it to her. And then I ordered another one, and guess what? My daughter's like, that's so cool. So I gave it to her. So I ordered this one. So this one wasn't claimed by somebody else. I would have given it to them anyway. So, and then the pen, I think I've mentioned that at least. The pen, I looked up, I researched pens that will work in the cold. I found somebody that had done some pen cold weather showdowns, and they were like -15 or more that they were working. So, all right. So tomorrow we meet. So we're 3 hours. We're UTC -3, right? So we at 8 o'clock we meet in the lobby to get picked up. 3 hours later is when the plane is scheduled to take off.
7 a.m.
No, they moved it to 8. Yeah. So we'll verify that, but it's supposed to be 8. So the pilots decide when it will go. They look at the weather and they make sure everything's good, because they have to fly down and then fly right back. And right now in Union Glacier Camp, there are 70 people that ran a marathon today. 70 ran a marathon today. None of these are good. Well, I mean, maybe there's some government employees, but these are not government employees. These aren't special scientists. This isn't on the northernmost islands. This is well in the interior, 80 degrees south. They ran a marathon today. If you saw the interview with the guy that organizes the marathon, really cool guy. So yeah, running a marathon in Antarctica is insane because the challenge is um, the challenge is being the right temperature. You are you don't want to get too hot, you don't want to get too cold. So you have to manage that. And of course, at the beginning of the race, you're cold, and as you start running, you're going to warm up. So you have to be able to take off some of those layers and not lose them. You can't just ditch it on the side of the path. They do it in a loop, so it's not like 26-mile loop. It's a smaller loop that they run several times. And I think it's well regulated because they talk about world records. So if you've ever done a marathon or a race like that, they will do like they'll put a device on your shoe that tracks as you go through gates. So you can't cheat, right? So they'll have like a far gate where you go through that, and it tracks that you went through it, and then you come back through. That's at least the one I did. I did a half marathon. So they must do something like that. They have to regulate that in order to be qualified for winning times and things like that. So, all right. Yes, they come back tomorrow. And then, so we fly down, they get on, they come back, we stay. That's how it works. And then 4 days later, same thing. There's another group coming down. We come back up. So what if it gets cloudy there and the dumb flat earthers make excuses that there's no sun? Well, then they're dumb flat earthers. Fortunately, the forecast is right now sunny weather for at least a day or two. So maybe 3. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, I would say it's very important to have the sun, that we see the sun. Now, if there's clouds come through that obscure it for an hour, it didn't set, flatties. So anyway, we had we had a conversation today with the guy. There's 2 people coming with us. One of the guys was at dinner tonight. We had a conversation with him, and yeah, he's a great. I like this guy. He wants to go skiing. He's going to go hike up a mountain and ski down the mountain. That's his thing. So he Whitsitt and Jaron and Elizabeth and everybody's at the table. So Jonathan he was super tired, so he didn't come. He slept. Jonathan is working hard, so respect for him. So Austin said something about you can't see the curvature of the Earth from an airplane, and this guy said, "I've been to 58,000 feet. I saw curvature on the Concorde." And Austin goes, "No, you didn't." Yeah, Austin, who wasn't there, told the guy who was there that he didn't. That didn't sit well with this guy. He didn't know Austin's name. Instead, he called him the crazy one. That's Austin's name to this guy, the crazy one. Yes, what an absolute jerk. No, you didn't. And he's sitting over there boldly saying that you can't even see curvature of 120,000 feet. I go, why would you say that, Austin? Of course you can. That's all I said. That's all my interaction was. But then we got into a conversation with, this was the ALE representatives were there, and one lady that is super knowledgeable. She worked for ALE. She's really knowledgeable. This is not on video anywhere. She went over a whole bunch of stuff about how logistics work going into Antarctica. And Austin and Jaron were trying to, especially Austin, we're trying to get oh yeah, see, you can't go. Like, just keep going. And she's like, boom, 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 just knocking it down over and over and over. It was like, Austin, you're not going to tell her how she does her job. And she wasn't letting him. She was all over it. It was the price of admission alone. It absolutely. So like he's like, well, you can't freely and privately explore. So I go, hey, can I ask a couple questions? Is ALE a an independent company? She's like, what do you mean? I said, well, yeah, does the government own you, or does this or this? She goes, oh no, there's a board of directors, or there's 5 owners on a pan. That's it. Right. I go, okay. And are you a free company? She's like, of course. I'm like, oh, so you can freely and privately explore. You are, ALE is a free and private company, free and independent company. So you can go explore with them. And he's like, okay, you got to get permission. So I go, oh, who do you ask for permission? She went over that. She said, well, since ALE is headquartered in the United States, go to the United States, and there are departments in the United States that are responsible for being compatible with treaties, specifically the Antarctic Treaty. The Antarctic Treaty has things that you need to do. For example, you can't pollute. You can't leave garbage. You can't leave your poo behind. You can't pee on the ground. And if you have an accident in a vehicle, you can't leave that vehicle there. You have to go get that vehicle and bring it out. So if you want to fly over Antarctica, for example, just do a straight flight across Antarctica. Well, you need to be certain, and the treaty requires that all of its members be certain that you can be able to handle issues that might happen there. So, for example, what if the plane has to land? Right? If there's a problem with the plane, a mechanical failure of some sort, and the plane has to land, then what? Well, you've now got a plane that doesn't work and a whole bunch of people that need to be saved. So you need to bring in another plane to pick up those people, right? And then you need some way to get the plane that was there fixed and out. How do you do that? There's no facilities, there's no gas stations, there's no tow service, there's no infrastructure. It's just ice and mountains, and that's it. So how do you do that? Well, you have to be able to have a plan for that. So when you go, whatever it is that you're going to do, you need to be able to say, here's what we're going to do, and here's how we can deal with issues. So another example, these are a lot from her, right? If you're going to get in a car, and they have done this. ALE has done a car service. 1,000 viewers. Wow, thank you so much. If you're driving a car across Antarctica, you can. But so what do? Well, you have to bring fuel. Every once in a while, you have to drop fuel. So they'll fly a plane, and they'll drop fuel, and then another 100, 200, 300 miles, drop another thing of fuel, and another, right? And they need to drop fuel every once in a while, because you how else are you going to drive? You can only carry so much. You can't. I mean, maybe you want to carry fuel, right? Get a big trailer, but trailers aren't great in the snow. So plan whatever. So you need to do that. You need to show your plan. And members of the treaty will look at that and they say, well, we can't break the treaty. So we need to make sure that if you're going to go in there, that you don't just die. We don't have to evacuate you. So make a plan. We don't want you to leave junk there. So we need to drop the fuel, and then you have to come get the fuel, right? Whatever we drop, we need to bring back, like the container, right? And it's not a 5-gallon gas can, right? They're bringing a lot of, so there's that. What if you're going to go across, if you're going to hike across alone, solo, right? You're going to go across, and you're going to cross country ski, or you're going to snowshoe, or you're going to walk, or you're going to, whatever. Well, you can't easily carry with you enough food to last the whole distance, because it can take 60 days to human power yourself across. So what then? You have to This is great. She's so good. You have to again drop provisions every once in a while for 60 days. I don't know how long you go on one set of provisions, but you get there, you put it on your sled, you keep going. Now here's the thing. You bring food with you. You eat the food. You're not done with it because after your body processes the food, you can't leave it there. You need to bring the processed food with you and either have it flown out from one of the caches that were dropped in and then are picked up later, or you bring it all the way out with you. Whatever you do, you have to have a plan for that. So if you're like, well, I'm going to bring 1,000 pounds of food and then it'll get lighter as I go. Well, it will get lighter, but not 100% lighter. You won't at the end have zero out of that 1,000. You'll have, biologists can figure out some particular amount of percentage of it you'll still have as weight, both liquid and solid, coming with you. So you need to do this. This is your responsibility as a member of the party, of the treaty. What about, can you freely and can you go wherever you want? Of course you can. But similarly, if you're going to go on an area that nobody's gone before, how do you know that it's safe? You need to know that it's safe. You need to have the capability to deal with it if it's safe. So if there's crevasses, well, how do you know that there aren't any? You don't know. So you need to know so you can bring an expert with you. If you want to do it all yourself, you can, but you need to have an expert with you to do it. You need to maybe have the machinery to go across crevasses, or you need to use an existing known good path. You could potentially hire a plane to fly over it and do a radar survey of it to make sure they're right. There's ways to do it, but nobody's going to say, yeah, you can go, if you're just going to say, I just want to tool around for a few days. No, this is the big boy time, right? That's how you die. And then somebody has to pick up your garbage that you left behind, including you. So you need insurance, and this is all expensive. The thing is, money talks. What do you want to do in Antarctica? You can do it. Money. That's it. I mean, you can't break the treaty and things like that, but like, you can't deface it. You can't leave garbage. You can't, write words on it that you can see from space. So anyway, that was a great conversation. Super good. Excellent time there. So I got to come back around to the drama. They were concerned about, let me remind you, concerned that I'm filming everything, right? And yep, I'm filming everything. That's the plan. I'm gonna go from when I wake up until I go to bed, filming the whole time. And they're like, we don't want you to do a hit piece. We don't want to, throw the camera in our face and say, ha ha. Like, they know the sun's gonna circle. They all know, right? They're outside every night doing a live stream, the three of them, and they're like, look right there to the south is that there's light on the horizon. So, hey, can you see stars? Can you see if there's stars? If there's stars, I'm going to do a star trail. No stars? It's cloudy. It's kind of cloudy here. It's a bit England-esque. No. Well,
won't be long, but can't see any now.
Can't see any. Okay. Well, last night about this time it was cloud, and then I did get some star trails, but I was outside and it was shaky, so I didn't see much. Do you want to come through?
Yeah. It's gonna be a drink of water.
All right, he's gonna get. There's critical think, everybody. The legend himself. Is Wolfie here? Someone is Wolfie. Let me look here. Oh, I say Sir Little Wolf. So I'll get to the live chat here. I'm just getting everything from the day. So, okay, back to, they're concerned about that. They know the sun's going to do, they know it's going to circle. We're looking at the horizon, the sun sets. The horizon, the light of the horizon goes across the southern, it's mostly water over there, so it goes across the southern horizon, and then it rises again in the southeast. They've seen that, they know that. So you keep going, what is the logical conclusion? You're going to see the sun up. That's all you need. You just need to go far enough that way so that the sun is up, not down. We're doing that tomorrow. They know. It's also a bit anticlimactic because really the time, that's the real time, right? You could say, well, all right, well, it's 6 hours past and the sun is going off toward the other side there. But I critical think. Thank you. So it's anticlimactic though, because really it's 2:30 a.m. That's the time that's cool. That's the time that we look straight south and we see the sun up in the sky at 13 degrees in elevation. So, but it's been 6 hours since we're like, yep, we know what's going to happen. So it's not like this snap thing where it's like, at the end of Behind the Curve where they had that closing scene. There isn't something like that. It's not going to be an option, and that's not what we're looking for. I'm not looking for that. It's going to be what it is, and I think there's going to be, what do we do? What does this mean? How do we deal with it? So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, but this is going to be pretty cool. So, all right, what kind of plane will carry them to Union Glacier? It will be a 757. It seats about 100 people. There will be 12 of us on it. 12 of us on it. Plus the pilots, I don't know, some other staff. But it's not, I mean, this isn't a, this isn't, we're just sitting on a plane. We can move around as we want. They issued us a seat, but they're like, it doesn't matter, you sit where you want. But the plane has to go down to get the 70 people running the marathon. So like we're half of the trip, they're the other half of the trip. And on the night, the 18th, it's the same thing. We do half, they do half. So, and like I think I've mentioned before, this is an intermediate, like they have the bigger ones, and they're like, oh, let's offer this too, because the plane has to go down anyway. So, and they have a good amount of staff. They're like, we send 70 people down in the spring, like in, I don't know, October, November, somewhere in there. They send 70 people down. They have to prep the runway. They have to build the camp. Like they bring almost everything back, the vehicles, the buildings, the tents, all of it comes back, except maybe something that's just kind of a 2-3 pallets big. That's all that they leave there. Everything else they bring back. They have a cargo plane too. So, all right. What else? They said you sit on the right side of the plane. It's the cool side that you get to see the mountains and stuff. So there'll probably be 12 seats of people peering out the windows. I'll get this going the whole time. I'm bringing the P1000. I will get what I can. I'm going to get as much footage as I can. I'll upload it for people to see. Okay. Like I keep interrupting myself. Go back to the issue that they had. So what did we work out? They didn't want that. They don't want to hit P's. They don't want, not to. Called hyperbole. Anyway, so there was something that they don't want me to upload. That's fine. I won't upload it. They're like, if we don't want you to film us, then don't film us. I have no problem with that. I was not gonna do that, but hey, it's all good. I'm fine with that. So, all right. That's the update. That's the update. So, what questions do you have? Tag me with questions. Oh, My stepbrother is running the marathon there, says Rocky. Rocky says that. That's awesome. Let's see. We got what they want is simple. Just don't film yourself being proven correct. I mean, how can you have a hit piece? Right? The fact that the sun doesn't set, that does the circles, right? That's the hit piece. It's up in the sky. It's the sun. It's not, right? There's the human element. Yes. So, Mr. United for the Chill Win says, are you going to sneak a pet penguin home and name it Dog? That would be fantastic. Unfortunately, there are no penguins where we're going. We haven't seen any here. Where apparently you can go on tours in the vicinity here to see penguins. We're not going on any, and there aren't any penguins where we're going. We're going deep inside Antarctica. We're not on the edge. We're in Antarctica. All right. Let's see here. We got Nugs Automation says, Tuna must say I'm proud. I helped donate what I could to get you there. Psyched. Me too. Thank you very much to everybody that contributed. It means a lot. It really does. It's over 500 people. You did this. You did that. Thank you so much. I'm just honored to receive it. It gets overwhelming sometimes. So don't make me like that. IC Spin says it's Witsits Eve. Pull the NORAD tracker up. So yeah, our GPS units, we've done a little bit of they've been a little buggy. So tomorrow morning we're gonna try to get them fixed. They're sort of correct. We've been milling around town, and so like that one will work for a while, and then it'll stop working, and it'll look like somebody's still at the restaurant or still at a mall buying batteries or socks or something. So there we go. Okay, we got Sarah Jones says, well done, all of you. Can't wait to see the flag with frozen tears. Also can't wait to see how they talk their way out of this one. Personal sons. Well, we're doing the things, I don't know, personally, like magic refraction, magic light bending is basically all that's going to be left, because we're testing all of the things that you need to test, right? We have solar filters so that we can see the sunspots. We can see if they're flipped left or right. That would tell us that it was reflected. Of course, if it was reflected, it would come from the wrong direction too. But Flatties don't get that. It like the sun would do this, and then the reflection would mirror it. The reflection is mirrored. Anyway, could it be a sun simulator? No. Solar filter will test that out. Could it be sun going far away? That's the other thing. We're going to test the angular size of the sun by getting, like, think about this, right? But with solar filters, right? Think about the map, right? At local solar noon, it's straight north of us on the flat Earth map. At 12 hours later, it's the same direction but farther away. You should see it due north, but you see it due south. Like, oh, it's reflecting somehow. How is it reflecting? Magic, right? Why do we see the reflected one and not the non-reflected one? Magic. Everything's magic, right? But if it's a reflection, why wouldn't you see the other one, the real one, and the reflected one? You'd have to see both. That's what a dome would make it seem like. You'd see copies of it reflecting off the dome. So unless we see reflections off the dome, that idea is done. So thank you for that. Lisa, CJ Lamoros says, I'm excited for you guys. Be safe and have fun. Yes, we are. I think we're going to have fun. I think it's going to be everybody in the end together. I think so. We'll see. That's my hope. It is. Nick Ann says, I'm disappointed with Jared. I expected him to be more into this trip / prepared. It seems Witsit is a bad influence. Jared is no. hold on. Let me update you on that. Jaron is very prepared. He had one very particular thing that he set out to do. He's going to take a photo of the sun every couple seconds for 5 days. He's got a motorized mount. He's got a camera on the mount, and he's got something that's controlling the camera to take a picture at regular intervals. He has done the math. He's figured out how many pictures he can take, how big of the memory card he needs. He's tested the mount. He sent me video of the mount moving and working. He's put things in his freezer to make sure they work in cold weather. He researched batteries to bring. I talked with him often about this. We planned some of. I'm like, I'll help you. Here's the batteries. He brought these batteries, these same batteries, and others. But he's got some really big batteries. We worked a little bit on the idea that this battery, like if you get a good battery like this one here, you can charge the battery, right? This battery can charge while it's charging another thing. So you get a camera. So you take this battery as your base battery, and it can power the camera, and the camera never gets interrupted, because what you do is you take another battery, right, and you plug it in. You plug this battery into this battery. So this battery charges this battery while it's powering the camera. And then when this battery is depleted, right, you get another battery. And then you get another battery. And then you get another battery. Right? That's what you do. And he's got a rather large battery that is giant, and then these other ones to ferry between them. I have these sitting here because I've been using them and charging them, so they're all 100% right now. So Jaron is the most prepared of them all. Lisbeth has done a bunch of stuff. She's planning some stuff. They went today to get some stuff. They got compasses. I don't know what they think they're going to do with compasses. I don't know how what are they going to test? They don't understand the magnetic field of the Earth. They don't understand the magnetic field of flat Earth. Magnetism is a big mystery to them. But they went and got that today, so I don't know. Yay. Can they put together a test that would test if the Earth is flat or globe with a compass? I don't know if they can, but they got that today, so good for that. All right, we got Adam Lord for 20 pounds says, hey, Merry Christmas, Tune. Have to say you're looking good, man. I hope you have an amazing time in Antarctica. I know you're there for the experiment, but I hope you get to enjoy the experience of Antarctica too. Thank you, Adam Lord. I have really so far enjoyed Punta Arenas. If you've watched I just love this town. It's a great town. It's as far away as you can get from Minnesota. And we were you know what, Jaron is like, I want some Mexican food, because everything is Spanish and Hispanic. You're like, oh yeah, we can go get some street tacos and some picante sauce. You can't. Their food is not spicy. Nothing spicy here. So, we are all farther from Mexico right now than we were at home, except maybe Critical Think. Maybe Dave, not sure about that. But all of us live closer to Mexico than we are right now. But there's kind of a Mexican feel because it's Hispanic. So anyway, J-Bone says, love from Canada Tune. Thank you very much, J-Bone. We got Doug Fraser from New Zealand with 5 Kiwi bucks. Says, greetings from Dunedin, New Zealand. All the best and for a safe and comfortable journey, pleasant weather, and many successful observations. Thank you very much. Comfortable. Hey, those flights are not comfortable, but it's okay. I'll do it. I'll take it. The 9-hour overnight flight from Miami to Santiago was Comfortable was not the word, but it was a fine flight. I had a middle seat that was empty, so that was good. The final flight to Punta Arenas here, I've booked all my seats next to the window so I can get angle dip measurements, horizon dip measurements. So far, all three were clouded over. It was a small plane. There was somebody right next to me. Did not speak English. She was Chinese, and she played Sudoku on her phone the whole time. Like the whole time, she was doing Sudoku. I'm like, oh, geez. It's just so you know, when I see Sudoku, I'm like, I could write a program to do that. That's what I see. Anyway, thank you very much for the well wishes there. Earthly Skeptics says, have a good trip. Platinum Flurfs. That's what we're doing. Scott Whitaker has a $7 Canadian super chat with no message, but thank you very much, Scott Whitaker. I appreciate it. Alejandro Vallejo for 100 Mexican pesos says, I don't know what to do. Whitson and Jaron think you'll humiliate them too. To Globers, they humiliate themselves and Flurfs and believes anything they say. So how would recording them make any difference? You make a good point. Flat Earthers are like, oh, the Flat Earth Society is controlled opposition because they make us look bad. You don't need help. You're perfectly capable yourself of making yourself look bad. You don't need anybody to do it for you. People on the outside don't look at the Flat Earthers that think that the Flat Earth Society is making them look bad, and the Flat Earth Society. They don't see any difference. They're both ridiculous. Gotta say, the more ridiculous ones are the non-Flat Earth Society ones. They're ridiculous. More ridiculous. They're all ridiculous. So, Scott Whitaker says, Toon, what's your plan for content after this inevitable victory? Don't leave us. So, what is my plan? Well, I have. If you see them on my Conspiracy Tunes channel, I have 2 videos I published today. They're both set to premiere at the same time. The one conceding flat has the transcript in the description. You can see the words I say in that video. I copy pasted YouTube's transcription right into the description. I'm going to show that video to Jaron so that he can say, yes, that is what he says in that video to other flat earthers. I don't want to give that video to anybody because they'll use it. In the other video, I kind of lay out a little bit of my plan. I'll tell you though, this is the coffin. This is the coffin for flat Earth. You're done. You're done. Every single prediction for the globe confirmed. Everyone. Every single prediction for flat Earth. Everyone falsified. No exceptions. We make predictions about the globe, and they're super correct. Critical Think predicted the force, the magnitude of the downward acceleration in Punta Arenas to
100 or 102 100ths.
102 100ths, 1 or 2 100ths of a gram.
Yes.
So 5 digits deep. Correctly predicted that. Correctly predicted the magnetic field strength in Punta Arenas. We'll be doing the same in Antarctica. So the lighthouse, no lighthouse seen. Flat Earth requires that you see all of it. We saw none of it. None. It's not there. It's just water, land. Right? Because there's a hill or a mountain in the background. You don't see the shore. Curve, beach, land. So there's never any curvature. There is. That's why you don't see that lighthouse. So, all right. Icy Spin says 1K, 1K, 1K. Well, let's get it. Thank you. Yep. We got 1,176. This is my biggest live stream ever. Thank you. This is so exciting. Plastic Citizen says, "Oh, I didn't finish. What else will I do?" So in that video, you watch it. It is a target-rich environment. There are dumb people all over the place that are trying to spread their dumb. So, as I've dabbled in other things, I've really gotten to like the moon landing stuff. I've mentioned I've been in communication with Charlie Duke to interview him or have him come on live. I paused on 5G stuff and the kind of family of things that they do because this occupied a lot of my time. Another thing is general science education stuff, which would be on a different channel. So I'm not done. I got plenty. There's plenty. So maybe there's somebody else that wants to get upset if I tune. So Plastic Citizen says, after this is completed and they've seen the 24-hour sun, what do you see their new responses and excuses will be? So the flatties that stay in the cult will, they've already started. They've said their basic one is things in the sky don't prove the shape of the earth. Okay. Then why did you say for 10 years that this, things in the sky prove the shape of the earth? But that's what they'll say. And of course, nobody will be able to take the AE map anymore. Right? They can't say that. It's done. It's bad news for the biblical flat earthers because they rely on the earth being a circle, and this will show that it's not a circle. So they'll have to just get more nebulous, which is essentially all of the not all, but the big majority of the Discord flatties. They're like, oh, I don't have a model. I don't have to claim anything. You have to prove. You have the burden. Like, no. You have the burden. You say it's flat. Oh no, I didn't say that. No, it's not a ball. That's it. So then none of those are flat earthers. You don't think the earth is flat? You're not a flat earther, correct? Anyway, yeah, they'll just get more wimpy, but they won't be able to point to a map anymore. What's Flat Earth Dave going to do with his app? His app has the flat earth circle on it. What are you going to do, Davy Poo? Poo your pants. What you're going to do. Claire Celestin for $20 says, love to the debunker community. It's so cool that you all get to share this adventure together. I was walking down the street today with Critical Think and Dave McKeegan, just thinking, and Will, we were just all walking down like, this is how cool this is. How cool this is. I'm right here with Dave McKeegan. And since he showed up here, it's just like, same with Critical Think. It's like, we're buddies. We know each other. We're friends. We get along. We're of the same mind. It's just been just cool. I have enjoyed talking with Jaron. Dave and Jaron have talked a lot. So things are smoother than they were before a couple days ago. I think it's going to get better. I think it is. So we got Max Loeb gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. If you received it, make sure you thank as well. We got Ice Otter 74 says, Witsit seems to be trying to make things as difficult as possible. Well, no comment. Critical Think. Chris Kelling says, any pumas in the crevasses? I'll let you know when we see a crevasse. We got Webby. Oh, we're almost at 1,200 viewers. Webby says only about 5 hours left to place bets. Yes, if you want to place a bet, Flatties, you can go to BetMoose and go place a bet. This is super interesting. The the bets on BetMoose are at 0.1588 Bitcoin, which is about $16,000, saying that the sun circles overhead the globe, and 0.016 Bitcoin, about $1,600, saying that the Earth basically flatties. A 10-to-1 ratio. What's that tell us? Tells us they don't think the Earth is flat. So, 3Ron says the whole point of TFE is to make them look bad. Now, Will is way more altruistic than that. Right, and a lot of people have different motivations. Will's motivation is not to make them look bad; it's to make it as definitive as possible. Because he thought about, he figured, you know what? They all say this, almost in complete agreement with each other. They say the same thing about Antarctica. Flatties do. Like they say, you can't go there; you'll get turned away at gunpoint. There is no sun circling. There is right. The Gleason map, right on the map, says that there's no light past 80 degrees south. At midnight, local solar midnight, when we look south and there's the sun, obviously that's not true. So Gleason's done. Gleason goes in the garbage pile of history tomorrow. Absolutely. So I'll say I don't think Will has the motivation of making them look bad. So certainly some people are happy for that, though. I don't know. I want to be altruistic too. How about that? Signa Step says for $10, nobody loves my favorite canine and Nicktoon more than I do. Also Liz K and Rachbot and Charlie Welch and screw you FDFE for good measure. Also Dave McKeegan sucks, but he's awesome. Thank you for that. For reference here, FTFE is a moderator on like an administrator for my channel. I have those 2 videos queued up. We're not 100% certain, right, that we will have Starlink. Maybe everything goes to crap and we can't use Starlink. I've scheduled those 2 videos to premiere at the same time. And I will, when we get there and we see what we see, I will unschedule one of them. But I told Craig today, I said, look, if I can't communicate, if I can't if you don't hear from me because we don't have internet access for some reason, very certain we will. Because they have Starlink there. And they have a place where you can call and you can get on, to get on the internet. But just in case, I said, Craig, if that happens, then a couple hours out, delay both of them 24 hours and just keep pushing them back until I show up or whatever. But don't let them both go live. You can't have them both go live. It would make no sense. Only one can go live. So if there's no answer, if there's no information, then you have to wait. So anyway, thank you, Signa Step. We've got the Trying Scotsman gifted a membership. Thank you very, very much for that. iSolder74 says, you've already falsified the flat Earth being in Chile. Well, yes, of course. so many things have falsified it. But it's Ushuaia is just a little bit south of here. It's on an island, so it's not a very big place. It's more difficult to get access to. This is the mainland so you can get to the rest of South America without leaving, right? You don't have to cross from an island to the rest. So this is as far south as you can be without going to an island, essentially. There's a little more land south of here, but not a lot. It's like preserves and hills and mountains. So this is it. Ushuaia is just a little bit more. So we've talked about that. The sun sets and rises and sets south of due east and west. But we didn't know anybody here. We didn't, right? This isn't a big town and they speak Spanish, not English. So how do you find somebody that's interested in this topic here? Now, of course, we've got Max in Uruguay, who is definitely able to do things like that. But we all we got Insta 360 video of Dave and I standing on the beach to get in Star Trails. Right? How great is that? You'll get to see that. It's on his camera. Then the camera fell over. Then he had to pick it up, and it's in a different spot. So it's like a time lapse. It got a little messed up. So we've got Icy Spin says it's called plane because flat Earth. I know. It's an airplane. Have you heard of that? RageBot's been a member for 20 months. Says Flurf Cheers is well worth the money. Have safe and happy trails. Thank you very much for that, RageBot. Bill Garrett says, however you feel about it, I'm glad these guys are going despite being called shills and fakes by the Flurfs who declined to go and see for themselves. And yes, 100%. They deserve that respect. All of them, right? This is a big step. They got on the plane. They got their butts here. They're getting on the plane tomorrow. So respect for that, right? Dave, Scammer Dearth, Weiss, no, zero respect. Trash. Dubay, trash. Oakley, trash. Sargent, trash. Like, oh, it would be cold. Do you care about truth? You could go here and find out truth. Tanner Stewart, trash that the trash throws out after the trash pukes up the trash that the trash ate later and earlier and before and after. Tanner Stewart has said Antarctica holds the key. He could pay for himself easy, right? He's the millionaire. Why isn't he here? Why hasn't he done this already? Trash. Tanner Stewart has, I have screenshots because his channel is no more, right? But I have screenshots of his channel where he's talking about Antarctica being the key, saying, why can't we go there? Why do they prevent us from going? They don't. You could go. All you need is the one thing that you claim to have, money. Why doesn't he go? Because he's trash. Mind That Matters says, have you brought enough bear repellent? Yes, definitely enough bear repellent. The correct amount is 0. IT Spin's been a member for 20 months, says, make sure we get us a hoedown before sundown in Yotown. I'm on StreamYard. It's not uploaded. I don't know if I even can. Hold on, let me look. Can I even on the fly? I think I can. It uploads it while I'm doing the stream, and I don't have a ton of bandwidth. Tell you what, let me do this. I have to first download because I don't have it on my computer. I'm on mobile. So, all right, give me a second here. Concession videos, there's my 2024 12-13 Punta Arenas lapse rate evidence capture video. There, okay. Here we go. The cool thing about Dropbox is I have Dropbox synced on here, but I don't have the files here. It just has a stub for the file. And so I can search for the file. And there it is. And which one is it? It's that one right there. And I can say MP3, MP4 right there. Okay, I can say make available offline, and right now it's downloading it. So if this starts getting chuggy, then you'll know why. Until it's done downloading. Okay, I'm prepping it right now. I'll come check in a little bit again. So good idea there. We've got Steve Revel says, member super chat says, seeing as you're so close to Australia, called in for a kangaroo sandwich and a coffee. Good job, guys. Make it proofs and have fun doing it. Critical Think is it's 12 o'clock, right? Critical Think fell asleep. He's over there. He's over there snoozing. So he didn't hear anything about the Australia, but no, we're not that close to Australia. We got Greg Ware says TFE has now thrown flat earthers into a frenzy. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It's so great. It's so fantastic. Max Dandry says, don't film a hit piece of us, bro. While ironically doing it themselves. Yep. Max Dandry provided one of the experiments, the sun directionometer. So when we get there, that will just go right down on the ground and we'll see. Oh, it's going to be glorious. Got the paper ready. Got the directionometer ready to go. Max Dandry, a fantastic little idea. I love it. Bob says a time lapse. Flurf call these edited videos, except when they do it, it's okay. But Jaron's not doing a time lapse. Jaron is doing one photograph every certain number of seconds for 5 stinking days. I love that. We have, for reference, we have 5 VR cameras. I have one. Will has 2. Mark Herman has 1, and Dave McKeegan has 1. Dave McKeegan is going to do a time lapse, I think, for as long as he can. And then Will is going to do 2 just straight videos. And they're going to be offset from each other by 90 degrees because there's a stitch in the video. And so the stitches won't be at the same spot. So I'm going to suggest that we turn it a little bit here so that the stitch is not at due south, right? Neither of them stitch at due south. So they're at 45 degrees to due south. So Toads in My Eyes has been a member for 8 months. Says Globe Earth is batteries all the way down. Batteries? I got 6 of these. Yeah. All right, let me see how close this is to. I can tell the bandwidth is a little, 1 minute left, is a little bit affected by it. So this is actually going off my phone. My phone's in the window over there because the hotel Wi-Fi is a little slow. Going off my phone. Yeah, this is what's really cool. Their infrastructure for a cell phone is fantastic. So no complaints there. Plastic Citizen says Antarctica is where the anti-Santa Claus lives. For all that is good and holy, please do not awaken whatever it is. It might be Kaiju Krampus. I'm thinking McFlatty's going to be looking for Santa Claus. Huge Arse says, why are Flurfs worried about ridicule? From their point of view, they're about to prove Earth M flat. It's almost as if they know they're wrong. That's of course. Of course. If they were confident in their position, they would be confident that the sun would set. And they would not be worried about any of that kind of stuff because then they get to say, we're right. The fact that they're concerned about it tells us that we all know what's going to happen. So Icy Spin says, remember that time Industrial Nerd owned you in a debate? I remember the time Industrial Nerd tried to pretend he was a flurf and he knew about metrology, and I'm like, you know how to measure things. You're not a flurf. I like Industrial Nerd. He's a great guy. Oddsider74 says, I could have told you the food would be different than you expected. Well, yes, I've there's a Colombian and Ecuadorian restaurant. There's a couple in Minneapolis, and I like going there. We've gone there a couple times, and yeah, I know it's not spicy. Well, I got a friend from Nicaragua. He's like, oh, I hate spicy food. We don't eat spicy food in Nicaragua. Yeah, it's quite limited to Mexico. My brother-in-law is Mexican, so I know. So yeah, I didn't expect it to be spicy, but Jaron was the one. I want some Mexican food, and it feels Mexican. It does. But also you look at around like this is Spain. Like it feels Mexican because the Spanish influence is the same, but it's not Mexican because Mexicans are kind of unique, right? And Chile is kind of unique, but they're both influenced from Spain. And so like the town center, that's Spanish architecture. That feels like Savannah, Georgia too. So without the Spanish moss. So Astrokate Sathix says, I wish you all the best in Antarctica. Have a great time. Antarctica is both beautiful and harsh, but always unforgettable. You're doing good work. Thank you, Astrokate. I really appreciate all you've done. You've been big help. And that reminds me of something I'm going to ask in a little bit. We'll be looking for that, Astrokate. So we've got Dave Cannabis. So Jared's walking around with a cannabis hat. It's on his head, but has a $2 Australian super chat, but no message. Thank you very much, Dave. We got Stephanie Venny, and then in parentheses Enev, which is just Venny backwards, says a super sticker. Oh, it is a super sticker. How do I can't see the super sticker. Well, thank you for the super sticker. I don't know if I can, let me see if I can even see what the super sticker is. Oh yeah, Greater Sapien did a video today. Like everybody's doing videos. It's so cool seeing, like, I can't watch them. I've been swamped. I can't watch the videos very much. Like I'll play it on 2x, be like, okay, I got it. I got the gist. So, okay. No, don't do that. Oh no. YouTube is asking me to verify myself. Okay. And it didn't. It must be happy. Okay. I'm gonna see if I needed to go to my a different place to see. No. Darn it. Okay, I can't see the super sticker. So, but you know what I can see? I can see that the file finished uploading, which means downloading, which means I can now upload it. Here we go. Here we go. All right. It is too big. All right. You know what that means? I have to re-render it. Re-render it using Handbrake. I'm going to re-render at 720 because it's 1080, but I don't need 1080. There you go. That will probably do right there. Let me verify. Who likes Handbrake? I like Handbrake. Handbrake's good stuff. Filters, dimensions. No. Limit. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Put it in downloads. Start. Okay. Rendering. So I'll get that in a little bit. So, all right. Slithery says, I flew UK to New Zealand once. It was a 24-hour flight. Luckily, the plane was empty, so I had the middle 5 seats on a 747 to myself. I don't think it could have been a 24-hour flight. It doesn't seem right. Because I don't think a plane can go for 24 hours, but maybe you had a layover. That could be, or a stop somewhere. That would make sense. Yeah, that's cool. I flew one time to England and back, and on the way there, on the way back, I think on the way back, I had 5 rows. Same thing, 5 seats to myself. I just laid down across it. It was pretty nice. It was. So, Flat Nickable says, for 50 Nokias, enjoy the sun down there. Greetings from perpetual darkness in high north of Norway. We'll see the sun again in January. I wonder how come. If the earth were flat, it could not set. In fact, at nighttime, the sun is closer right from here. The sun is closer to the North Pole than we are 6 hours or 8 hours from local solar noon, right? So why, if it's too far, how far is too far? And why is it the things that are closer can't see it while the things that are farther can? Does it make sense? If you can't answer that, then you're obviously wrong. Skeety Boy Fat says, Flat Mars is more funnier. Yes, gonna have to start doing the Flat Mars Society debunk. Rano Joy Baru for 400 rupees, is that? Let me see. I think that's rupees. Hold on. Hold on. I want to make sure I get the symbol right. That looks like it. Yeah. Okay. Back here. Okay. Anyway, Rano Joy, thank you very much for that. Says, what if the flatties find cloud cover and claim no 24-hour sun? Because apparently daylight doesn't require sunlight. That would be silly. But yes, they would probably consider that a win. But the forecast so far is looking very good. So there we go. Mechtheist for $10 says, who's maintaining the holographic projectors on the plane? I don't know. They must be installing it feverishly tonight. MM84 says, will the flirts cry foul if the sun is hidden by mountains for a duration of time? So that is a possibility if we don't go to the right spot. So due south of the of camp is the mountain, so like right south of camp. And they do that so that they get some buffering from the wind. And right at local solar midnight, the sun is right next to that peak. And the owner said that there is shade, but of course it changes. So was there shade 2 weeks ago or a week ago? Maybe there was, but now there won't be because it's getting higher and higher. The 21st, it will be the highest in the sky at Union Glacier. And so we're getting close to that. So it might not. Also, we're going to see if we can get on the north end of camp. Another option is that we'll go to an alternate location and we'll do some filming there to get the sun due south there, or maybe just get a whole one day at this other location. So we've got plans, we've got ideas. Certainly some flirts will cry foul if a bird flies in front of it. There's no birds there. Except for penguins. They don't fly. Hannah Anderson said maybe there's some other flying birds, but not inland. Hannah Anderson says, Whitsit backpedaling has already begun. This will be a new chapter in the grip to enjoy the trip. I have no idea what will come. It's going to be something. Nathan says, all this effort just because flirts can't comprehend how small they are and how big the earth is. Exactly. And that's for 250, and then it's a P with something inside the P. I don't know what that is. Is that Polish something? I don't know. All right, I'm gonna look to see if the stars are out yet. So hold on, I can still talk while I'm doing that. This hotel room is looking right out over the south waterfront here. It's really cool. No. Oh, looks like there's a cloud cover clearing. Yeah, there's stars coming. That's good news. So maybe in an hour I'll have clear sky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the camera and it'll run for 150 minutes. I'm just going to go sleep and just let it go. And it takes a picture every 30 seconds and it just stitches them all together. And from the hotel room, I can get star trails. I tried last night. I was on the beach. Dave McKeegan and I were on the beach in the sand and the wind blowing everything and the camera shaking and everything. And I'm like, I can do it from the room. We have a south-facing window, and you don't get this in the United States. That window opens and it's just air. There's no screen. There's no lock. It's just a window that you just open. Like I just sat on the ledge and leaned out a little bit. I'm 6 stories up. I'm not leaning far out. So super excited. Super excited for that. More Flurf tears coming. No entity sounds found says 1,117 watching, 364 likes. Come on. Yeah, give a like. Hit that like. YouTube will be appreciative and promote it more. Webby for $9.99 says 5 hours left to bet. Flurfs, this is your chance to take Glober's precious Bitcoin, thousands up for the taking. But no, they can't be bothered. They're so certain that they're not going to bet. Astronaut 66 for $5 says the Flat Earth crew used their new compasses to verify that the sun was setting in the south-southwest during their live stream this evening. Interesting. They watched it the other night. It just went across the south horizon. I marked out. We got the angle to south, figured out 3 ways. I brought Jared up there and Lisbeth and showed them, and they're like, "Okay, cool." So they got compasses. Lisbeth was showing the compass. I go, "That's really nice compass. Cool, I love it." You can go up and you can look on the mark that I put on the concrete up there, and you can see the direction of south. And we're at 12 declination east, 12 east declination. So you can look there and you can see that due south is 12 degrees off of what your compass will say. It's like, oh, cool. So I learned orienteering in Cub Scouts a little bit. And so as a Cub Scout, I didn't do much, but I do remember declination. But you don't deal with it, right? We don't use magnetic compasses to get around. We use GPS to get around. So anyway, yes, they did confirm that. And I think their live stream was like freaking out. They were not happy. The live stream wasn't. I saw Kingdom in Context. Sean Griffin was like, did you say, and then some question, and he asked the wrong direction. Did you say you're facing south and the sunset to the left? I think that's what he said. Like, don't set to the right if you're facing south. We got Palastia Parek for 2,500 clips. Colombian pesos. Says, hello again. By the way, I sent you a mail earlier today. We'll take pictures of the sun and moon in the next few days. Looking forward to Antarctica through your eyes. I appreciate that very much. Let me address this particular one here. I'll get back to this one in a second. There are four things I'm asking people to participate in. And you can all do it from where you're at. The most difficult one is to measure the dip of the horizon. So when you're in an airplane, bring your cell phone, bring an app that measures angles. And if you have a crisp horizon, measure the angular dip of the horizon from 35,000 feet. It should be between 3.5 and 3.3 and 3.5 degrees. That's the globe predicted. It'd be closer to 3.3 because refraction is rather consistent. So that's what it predicts. If there's clouds, you don't know how close or far they are, and the clouds can be higher than you. So the clouds that are near could be higher than that. You need to have a crisp view of the horizon, the land, not the clouds. That's the challenge, right? If you measure the clouds, you don't know how high they are. So it's got to be that. So you can do that. If you're a surveyor or you have instruments that you can measure actual numbers from elevation, like if you can be on the top of a mountain with a theodolite, send that to dip@mctoon.net, and I have somebody curating that email address. That's one. Two, sun at mctoon.net. Two things: the angular size of the sun, and just any time of day. If you can get a good view of the sun, you could put a solar filter on it so you can see the sun spots. Then take a picture. If you have optical zoom on it, zoom it all the way in to the end of its what it can do, provided that doesn't completely overfill the screen. And then send the camera information with the focal length, the raw picture or the full size, as big as you can photo, the date and time, and the latitude, longitude that you took it. Send all those to sun@mctoon.net. So any of that works, but we particularly do want photographs that show sunspots at 2:30 a.m. At Union Glacier, which is 3 hours behind. 3 hours behind UK or UTC. So that's 5:30 a.m. UTC, I think. So, and it will be dark in America and the UK, I think. So that will be like Australia. If you're in Australia, maybe New Zealand, maybe the edge of Africa, that's where that's really the important time, because then that can show that it's not been flipped side to side. Moon at mc2.net is the moon, right? If this moon analog is here, and you've got one side of the moon, the other side of the moon, and you got flat Earth down here, right? And so somebody here will see this side of the moon, and somebody here will see this side of the moon. So send pictures of the moon to moon@mc2.net. You can do this with the cell phone camera. You don't need a solar filter. Have it as good as you can. Try to not have any clouds in the way, even if they're wispy, which means you can do it anytime. Right? If we have the time and date, you can just send it in anytime, and we can match up. We can say, well, here's some people on opposite sides of the moon seeing the same moon. Not possible. Well, what if it's really far away? Yeah, then it's not local. That's what we say. It's really far away. So that's 3. Sun, moon, dip. Oh, radius. So you can do an Eratosthenes measurement any day. You don't need to do it just on the equinoxes or solstices. We tend to do it then because we know, just out of convenience, that it's around the Tropic of Capricorn, the equator Tropic of Cancer. That's where the sun will be those days. But we know, everybody knows, it's well understood where the sun is on any particular day, flat or globe, it doesn't matter. So if you get the day and you want the date, time, and the latitude, longitude, you need the length of the shadow and the length of the stick. And you need to make sure that it's done at local solar noon. And that is when the shadow is its shortest. So get something to write on the ground next to the stick or whatever thing you're going to be using. You need to be able to measure its height. I used something that was 2.5 meters tall because it was built in. It was perfect. Taller is better if you can measure the height precisely. The reason why taller is better is because there's more digits of precision that you can get. More precision you get when you measure the shadow length, though it gets a little more diffuse, so it's a trade-off. Anyway, get those, send it to radius@mc2.net. High quality on that one is important, so that you get a really precise measurement of the shadow length. You get it right at the shortest the shadow gets. So for a couple minutes, you can draw on the ground to get where that shadow is, and then measure the height. There you go. That should do it. And that's the 4 you all can participate in. But really, over these next 4 days, get the sun. Get the sun. While I'm talking about it, the moon, the 24-hour moon, Will has done a video on that, and Globers went nuts. I was unimpressed with Glober's response to it. Will said, I want to procure a video of the 24-hour moon. I want to procure, he said. He didn't say, I want to personally film while we're at Union Glacier. He said, I want to procure a video of the 24-hour moon. That's because the globe predicts it. Flat Earth doesn't have an explanation for it. We know the moon will be below the horizon. Nobody needs to say that, please. So if you have one, we know the one that Robert Schwartz has. That's not on YouTube. It was not on YouTube. Will was unaware of the one that Where's Wally had. So other than that one, if you have a 24-hour moon video from Antarctica, then Will is interested in it. He's working on some other avenues. But here's what you really can do. Go press the flatties. You and I know this video exists. Where's Wally has it is from Robert Schwartz. There's others. We know there's going to be others. Go ask the flatties. That's you. That's if we can all press them on this, drive them crazy. They don't get to say coffee cup caustic. It doesn't work. They don't get to say reflected off the dome. It doesn't work. You don't need a solar filter to get a photograph of it, to see the features. It's brilliant. Will is ahead of them, many steps ahead of them. Don't doubt that. Anyway, go ask them. Pester the flatties about the 24-hour moon. What will they say after the 24-hour sun? Don't know, doesn't matter. We're going to be bugging them about the 24-hour moon. They're done. You know that exists. You know it's a thing, and you know they can't touch it. So, all right. Clarence AS2 says, does anyone remember Witsit saying they were taking the sky from us and this would be a hard year for the globe? I remember that exactly nothing happened after that as well. JD63 says for $20, pure comedy gold. Thank you. Well, thank you. I don't know what the comedy is, but thank you very much. Their live streams have been interesting. I've enjoyed watching them. No, I haven't watched them much. Seriously, I've got so much going on. Rod Talks is best group field event since Soundly's Pontchartrain observation and Sly's Eratosthenes reproduction. Thanks for everything you're all doing. You're welcome. Okay, let me quick see if it finished. It did in fact finish. Let me get this here. Rename it to have it 720 on the end. Drop it into the folder. There we go. Add video clip. All right, it's uploading. You get the hoedown. You will get the hoedown. All right. Let's see here. We've got Light Armanov says, can you test for flat Earth in the pole using a compass by walking left and right and seeing which needle north-south points in the same direction? Okay, let me read that again. Can you test for a flat Earth in the pole? Like if you're at the pole, using a compass by walking right and left and seeing which needle north or south points in the same direction. When you're at the pole, at the magnetic pole, magnetic north pole is frozen ocean in the north, and the magnetic south pole is water. It's in the ocean south of Antarctica. So neither are really. We're not going to be there, and neither are easy to get to. But it's not like I mean, there's a single point that is you can kind of say that, but you can't just like walk back and forth. It's not like just a little, bar magnet, right? It's big. So moving a couple feet makes a very nominal change. And when you're that close to, like if you're right over where it's vertical, right, where you're right above it, a compass wants to point straight down, basically. And so if you have the gimbal there, one side is gonna go, or it's gonna want to do this. Because the inclination, the magnetic inclination is 90 degrees. So it's going to pull it out as hard as possible. And so then it's going to touch the enclosure, and it's not going to want to be able to turn because it's going to rub and have friction on the side. So that's what happens to a compass that's not really well balanced at the pole. So you could get like the ball compass that people like have on the dash of their car, and that would potentially work. And it just show that south is straight down and north is straight up. And you'd have to go, many miles before you'd have any change that would be noticeable. So anyway, we got Lower Deck says, how much word salad has Witsit been dishing out? Oh yeah. So I wouldn't say word salad a lot. He's yeah, we've had enough to eat. elsewhere, so we haven't needed the salad. So he's held off, thankfully, for the most part. But yeah, when the guy who's ridden the Concorde said, "I've been at 58,000 feet. I saw the curve," and Witsit says, "No, you haven't." That smugness did not go over well with the guy that's actually been on the Concorde. He was unimpressed. Unimpressed. So, okay. We got Artie's corporate fiction. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen you for a long time. Says for $10, proclaim maritime/admiralty as soon as you set foot on Antarctica and deny Flirf's jurisdiction. Legally impossible to debunk. Law trumps physics. Alcohol trumps reason. I've been watching just these last couple months has been all epi all the time like this, and so I've been watching to kind of get my stuff, my brain off of it. I've been watching Team Skeptic videos and other like some of yours Artie's just like play a little bit of it, just to like let the mind clear of the topic. So I've seen a whole bunch of people talking about jurisdiction and all that lately. So I love that. Thank you very much, Artie. Mick99D says they all know it's a sphere. They are scammers preying on the feeble who want something to make them different from the rest. That is all it's about. They know some people will pay them. That's the basis of all scams. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. And the reason why is because I think that there are a large number of them that totally believe it. And I think I think most of the Papa Flirfs started thinking it was flat, and then getting to where they are, and now their rice bowl is involved. And when your rice bowl is involved, when your community is involved, when your whole, and they make it their personality, it's like their whole everything is about it. You get a bunch of things tied together, and you don't want to give them up. So you'll do anything to protect them. That's what's going on. And I think that especially the ones that have made a living of it, they've got the notoriety and the clout within their community. That's tough for them, right? I think I think this. Let me just put it back up here. Oh no. It's gone from the thing. So I think it gets to a denialism state where they're not going to look at anything, right? They go in a debate, and over and over they get shown evidence, and rather than trying to digest the evidence and analyze it and say, well, how does this work? They just, for the most part, are like, here are the sound bites that I know that can debunk that. And so their debaters aren't about evidence; they're about knowing the other flat Earth's debunk points, so that they can look good in front of their audience, in front of their echo chamber. We're like, oh yeah, that's the right thing to say, right? And we're the opposite. We're like, evidence, 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 evidence. So we got Steve from Wormhaven for $20, just wishing you safe travels, backing up your claims, and being someone who keeps their word is the real example you're setting. Flirfs won't understand that because they can't think in 3D. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm what there's something so fun about making a prediction from thousands of miles away and then coming here on code. Gosh, here. Software that Andreas wrote. To be fair, he wrote it. The code is great, and I had no time. Right, I had a stab at it, and I couldn't have done it. He put in so much time. This here got a display. We got the IMU. This has the measuring devices in it. This is the computer. It has a display, and it clicks. I don't know if you hear that. but it's clicks. And it's got a mini display. That's it. This is the whole thing. And it's got a sweet program written in Python that runs on it, and it measured the field strength of the Earth here. Andreas had no way to pre-program it in here. The source code is available on my website. If you don't think it's legit, you can get the source code. You can get the same device. You can put the source code on it. You can fly your own butt to Punta Arenas, and you can see if you get the same numbers. If you can't, if you're unwilling to do that, you don't get to deny it. You don't get to this. This stays. This is amazing. Now, while I'm at it, McKeegan brought these stickers here. So let me tell you. Dave McKeegan has this on his backpack, and he gave us these. So we've got two people that we lost this year. We got Triggered Limey, who had some challenges, and in the end, they got the best of him. Sad for that to happen. And then we got Glover Mom, who had brain cancer, and just a little bit ago passed and from it. And yeah, Glover Mom was she was super nice. she had a subscriber count celebration, and she's so excited for me to come. I'm like, okay, I'm on it. I'm just honored for her to want me to come, and she was so excited for me to be there. I'm like, why are you so excited for me to be there? I'll come. I'm happy to come. Love it. So anyway, so Dave gave me that. I got it, and I don't have a place to put it right now, but I'll put it somewhere. So, okay. NASA Security Force says Austin alluded to Dave having an answer for what they're in a video to be released today. They're grasping already. Did Dave have any answer for what they're in a video he released today? So Dave McKeegan. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, an answer to a flat earther is what collection of words can impress their echo chamber enough to think that they won. Right? None of it is actually based on, application of science, geometry, physics. Right? It's never that. Austin was saying the other day, oh, we have calculations for this and calculation for the calculator. Like, you don't have any calculations. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, okay. We got Hipster McGee for $10. His greetings tuned from the Arctic Circle in Alaska. Have there been any McFlatty sightings? Good luck and safe travels. No McFlatty sightings so far. So I don't know where he's been other than at home. So thank you for that. Brendel Weischer says, or is it Weischer? Is a new member. Thank you very much for that. We got Christian Elsasser. Christian Elsasser says, greets from Switzerland. You're doing historical things and flat earth. That's what we're doing. Arnold says, do you think there's any chance they left the guard down and act like normal humans without the cameras running? There's no cameras tonight. No different. He told the guy that's been on the Concorde that he didn't go on the Concorde. The look on his face, the disgust that some pompous prick douchebag would say, you didn't see the curve. There's no cameras. Matt Gurich says Schrodinger would be proud to. Oh, Schrodinger's cat. Yep. Such a good guy. So nice. Miss him. It's been a long time, hasn't it? What will Flurf excuse be to try to debunk you? Simulation or VFX to start? I've heard soundstage, like Truman Show. Wait, we're getting on an airplane. An airplane. How does an airplane go into a soundstage without you noticing? Or are we already in a soundstage? I don't. How did we get in a soundstage? It's the coping. Coping. Blake EIU says, did the Flurfs enjoy seeing the Southern Cross? They did not. The Southern Cross was not visible until kind of late last night, and it's that wasn't visible a little bit ago. I'll see if it is right now. Looking. Oh, cloud cover. Like I saw stars a little bit ago. So the stars I saw were straight above the hotel. Like I stuck my head out a little bit, and I look up just now, and I see only right above the hotel. So nothing has changed in a while. So that's too bad. I think what I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to set up the camera right now, and I'm going to have it take. I'm just going to set it to do Star Trek. And if it does it, it does it. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. So let me get it out here. I'll talk you through it while I do it. Somebody grabbed my coat. My coat's out now. I got to repack my coat. Okay. So this is one of my 2 carry-ons tomorrow. Got the P1 billion in it. I'm kidding. Big Flatty only has that one. All right. Here it is. P1000 and camera, our battery number 4. Everything's numbered. And I'm hooking it up. I'm sorry you can't see. I can't turn my computer around because it's connected to hard drives and stuff, and it's a bit of a challenge to move. So, all right, there we go. Mounted, and I have to point the camera up at 53 degrees up, so it's a non-trivial angle. But that's okay. I think I can get it out the window here. So camera turned on. That's a good news. I have to estimate the angle, but it's actually like it's pretty steep. The angle's pretty steep. So I have to crank up the here it is. Crank up the I can show you this. Hold on. I'll show you the setup. All right, coming. Here we go. Coming. Here's the whole setup. We got the purple spaceman bag. I told Jaron I got this just for him because he hates NASA so much. It's got astronauts and rocket ships and aliens on it. I really did get it for him. And so this is an insulated box here, and so our insulated lunch bag thing. And so the battery goes in there. I'll put a hand warmer in with it, and then it'll just sit like this, trapping the heat, hanging on the hook underneath there for a little bit of weight. And then when I said I have to angle it, I have to do this. So this is the angle that it has to sit, and I'm going to lower it a little. So let me lower the legs. There we go. And you'll be able to see now. All right, so this is about how it goes. So let me get it back over there, and then I'll start it. And just let it run for several hours. And I know which way is south because we measured it. I can see the spot where we measured it. Oh no, I don't want to get inside of that. Okay. I need to get like only the sky. Nice. Okay, now go to scene. The P1000 has a decent scene for it. It's on Star Trails. So the window wants to shut, which is fine. Okay. There it is. It's going. That will run for 150 minutes and then be done. Okay. Star Trail's done for the night. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it'll just have one picture that's black that took 150 minutes to produce. So, and yes, I saw the Southern Cross. I got Star Trails of the Southern Cross. I posted them on my Discord server if you want to see. It was shaky. We're in the wind, and so it's a little shaky, but you can see the Southern Cross. So, Rossi says, too, in much respect, how would you like me to treat your Reptoid replacement when they send it back in your place? How would you like me to treat your, yeah. Well, my Reptoid replacement probably is a big fan of like worms and bugs. Bugs? Yeah, send them some bugs. Bo Falcon for $20 says, this is for you at Nico de la Hoot. Since you are having problems super chatting, good luck, Toon, and everyone were there, including Cliff Nice. Keep up the good work. Is Nico having trouble? All right, hold on. Let's look over here. Nico, just send a message quick, Nico, if you're still here. So, oh yeah, a heat lamp will be donated. Let's see. I don't see any from Nico recently, but I'll tell you what, Nico, send me a message on Discord. I'll read it out. How about that? Okay, I got to get back. Holy cow. You guys, I got 30 more to read. Thank you. It's so awesome. This is this is a community. This is fun. This is what we're all about. I'm super excited. I really I do want to partner. I want this to be an opportunity for people to be honest, and accept evidence, and not just say, no, you weren't, to a guy that was on. That should happen. I can't force that to happen. I'm going to do my part. Randy Lewis for 100 Mexican pesos says, do the flirts have to make sure to not leave any of their tears behind? I suppose you could say tears are not a lot different from urine. They're salty and they are expelled from the human body. Okay. Guy Doss for $2 dollars. I don't know what currency that is. So should we find a way to retribute Will after this? How do we thank Will? He's asleep now. He won't see this. How can we thank him? I don't know. I'm not good at thoughtful gifts like that. Let me know. There's a gift shop at Union Glacier. You can only buy some of that stuff there in one place in the world. So I was thinking, get something for him there. So um, I'll talk with the other people. But yeah, that's absolutely. JSS Tiger says, why does Austin call this a win-win situation? It's a win for him and a win for him is what he's saying. He thinks that he wins no matter what, right? He wins, he thinks, if the sun sets. He wins, he thinks, if the sun doesn't set, because he thinks that this is publicity for Flat Earth, which he needs clout for him. But it's not, because there's no explanation for this for Flat Earth. He's like, you still didn't falsify the radius. You didn't falsify the radius. You did not falsify the radius. You misunderstood how to test the radius. That's what you did. So, anyway, yeah, that's what he thinks. It's getting more attention for Flat Earth, he says. David George says, who's been a member for 2 months. Thanks for all the knowledge I've learned from listening to your streams. Well, thank you for thanking me. I appreciate it. I enjoy sharing this information, and I've gotten more into, explaining things more. I do like that. I tell you, I get nervous. When I start doing things like that. There's more pressure to get it right. Like if I on the fly start doing some trig and I make a mistake, and it's a live stream of that, and I make the mistake, like I don't want to make that mistake live, right? And if I do, I'll back up. But like there are times when I've done something and I'll get through it and I'm like, oh, I made a mistake here. What do I do? And so then I'm in the moment. This isn't a teaching thing. It's not a lecture, really. So if in a lecture you'd say, okay, well, here's a mistake, scratch that out, keep going, because the purpose is the lecture. That's not the purpose of this. So a lot of the time what I've done is say, I've made a mistake there, ignore the rest of this. Here's the final answer. Because a lot of the time I'll pre-analyze it, and then I'll present it again later, but miss a step or make a mistake at the step. So anyway, we got David Poole says, thanks for doing what you're doing. I'll be live streaming the sun as much as possible from Missouri to help the cause. Well, awesome. Thank you for that. Can you live stream? If you have a solar filter, here's what I did today on the sunset. As the sun was setting south of due west, the sunset today here. As you do that, I put the solar filter. It was a giant, like the sun was huge. There's so much glare because it was zoomed out, and so the whole was exposed for the landscape around it, and the sun was just a big massive glare. So I took my solar filter and I put it in front, but now it's on auto exposure. And so I put it in front. It was near the edge of the frame, and it didn't modify the frame. It kept it at the same exposure. So the solar filter was just perfectly black. So I'm like, oh, let me make the exposure correct a little more. So I pushed it a little past half of the frame, and then it redid the exposure for the larger half of the frame, which was dark, and the smaller half, which was the landscape, then got blown out. But at least then it showed that the sun was the correct size. It was tiny compared to the really large glare of the sun. So I don't know if you can do that. That might be kind of cool, just to see the true size of the sun. Vern C for 5 Canadian says, did you bring enough smug spray? Being around the wits at smugness could be harmful. Please be safe. I will. Yep. I got man, I forgot the smug repellent. Did you hear that? It's 1 a.m. and cars drive up and down, like loud. Industrial Nerd says, just shut up, Max. Thank you, Industrial Nerd. Crypto Roast says they're totally ignoring sun setting south. I don't think they're ignoring it. They're just not facing it. which is ignoring it. Right? They said it. They're like, yeah, that's where it's setting. Now, what does that mean? It doesn't work. Lisa says, do you have sufficient mass quantities of salad dressing for Witz's pathetic word salad? Have a safe trip and have fun and be safe. Yeah. So far, it's gotten easier. I have sat back. I have not escalated. I've not engaged in anything that could turns. So that's being safe. But yeah, like we got our briefing today. Antarctica is not it's a serious place to be. So yeah, thank you for that. Science Dad, love the name. Says great work, sir. Looking forward to your experiments. What's next? Flirts in space. Well, if Elon wants to do it, he might send one up. Yeah. All right. Timbo Turtle says, happy looking at the true night sky we see in Oz. Yeah, it is cool. It was weird at first, but I did see Orion's belt. For some reason, Orion was all upside down. It was weird. So Slithery says, layover in LA. It was Oscar night in '98. I've never officially been in the US as I didn't leave customs. Oh man. Yeah, a layover doesn't count, does it? You certainly aren't doing a whole lot of visiting. NASA Security Force for $5 says, Jaron and Austin said earlier they're doing something that's never been done before. Yeah, no one's been there and collected evidence. Yeah, the thing that's never been done before is flat earthers have never been there before. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. Hold on. Big Tech. Oh, at 9:30. I was wondering probably the place I was like. At 9:30, at 9:30. So Big Tech wanted me to come on there. Will and Critical Thing and Dave McKeegan and I were hiking back from the restaurant, saying we got to get the sunset. We got to get the sunset. So we're like, to get back, and we did. We got it, and got the sunset south of due west. There's a road right outside here, straight east west. We verified that with GPS. We verified GPS works because we determined due south using GPS, and then the shadow at local solar noon matched. Nature told us due south. GPS told us due south. Compass told us due south. All agree. Flatties. You don't get to dismiss GPS. You need to show where it's wrong. Latitude, longitude is right. Disagree. You may disagree. Your disagreement will be ignored until you show an error. We showed agreement. So we know GPS knows east-west and it knows north-south. So we had this straight east-west road. And so Will, it's great. He got his drone right over that east-west, and he went over the road. The road. He's sitting above the road, hovering above the road for 20 minutes. With cars driving underneath it, with the sun going. That was great. That was so great. We made it in time. So, Glenn Hughes says, don't you think getting many pictures of the sun and moon from here in the UK? Don't think you're getting many. Forecast is cloudy for the next few days, mainly due to the fact that I recently bought new astro equipment. Yeah, you buy astro equipment and then it gets cloudy. Yeah, so like I said, the next 4 days, sun pictures with solar, with sunspots. That's how you know it's exposed correctly. Timbo Turtle says, for 5 Australian, when you see the true night sky here in Oz, will flat Earth look upside down to check? Shame you won't see the moon the right way up. We did see the moon last night. I got a picture of the moon. Dave McKeegan got some really nice pictures of the moon. So we got it. We got the moon here. So the right way up, as you say. Fishy Fish says for €5, can you please demo the Dearth Clock app in Antarctica? Of course I'm doing that. Show it's sunny even though the app claims it's dark. Of course I'm doing that. Of course I am. And I'm not running the update. If there's an update on it, it's not going to get installed. I'm going to launch the app. I'm going to turn on my GPS because I know how the app works now. The GPS coordinates will be in the friend finder. The friend finder will have me in Antarctica. He will have, if he doesn't want me there, he's going to have to hand delete that from the database. Dave, you're a scammer. I don't care. Go tell him. Go tell Dave. NASA Security Force says, what did they think about the table and chairs on the ceiling of La Luna? Austin accused you guys of conspiring by being early without them. Well, Austin makes a lot of accusations and a lot of complaints. He complained that it was more than 5 days. And then he complained that it wasn't more than it was, which is it. And what are we going to do by being here a day earlier? We can talk to each other without being in the same town together. Have you heard of the internet? Whatever conspiring we want to do could have been done earlier. What we did here was we just got here and we went out to eat. We checked out the town. We got some things figured out. We went to the store, picked up some stuff. Like, it was mostly the logistics, and like we were still busy that first day. Like, it's been a whirlwind the whole time. Are you going to visit Ice Cube neutrino detector while there? I wish. That's at the North Pole. We won't be at the North Pole. We will be at 80 degrees south latitude, 700 miles away about. So I'd love to go there. I love that neutrino detector. It's so brilliant. So the Gorn captain says, Witsit talks faster than a Concorde guy, so he wins. Yeah. Concorde guy called him crazy guy. He did not like him. Did not like him one bit. Steve Revel says, so, to get this right, 2 a.m. UTC for Australia. No. So we're 3 hours off of UTC. So it's 2:30 a.m. for us in Union Glacier, which is UTC to 2:30, 3:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 5:30 a.m. UTC. And for Australia, it's for all the world, 5:30 a.m. UTC everywhere. Can you get a photo of the sun? Certainly you won't in England, because the sun won't be up by then. But probably in Africa you could. Certainly farther east, maybe in Israel. So can our Israeli friends get photos of the sun with the solar filter? That would be really good. So anyway, yes, thank you, Steve Revel. 5:30 a.m. UTC is the time you're looking for. We got Afix for $5. Says, all learning is the 5 stages of grief. It took me 36 years to realize, and yeah, this is important. I know some very smart people persuaded by flirt-dom. Yeah. I think about the psychology. That's not my forte, so I don't say it much, but yes, this is. I mean, different people are in different steps and they're going to have different reactions. And so, yes, I see that. I know what you're talking about. And are we seeing denial? Definitely we're seeing denial, and that's where they're stuck. That's their starting point, right? So a good point there, Apex. Radium Soup says, ignoring Austin's extreme humility for now, how is everyone else getting along with each other? Any hope for a friendly picnic upon return to Chile in a few days? Thanks again for doing the important things. Yes. To answer your question, yes, everyone else is. I've had multiple conversations with Jared, just chit-chatting and getting stuff done. And I have I gave him 5 hard drives, and he's like, how do I use these? I'm like, where is it? I gave him, I'm gonna give him, no, here it is. This is for him. This is his. Brought this for him so he can put the drives in there, so he can back up all that data. Right? There's no drive in there yet. He has 5 drives that I gave him. So there you go. For him. I have a couple more, so if Lisbeth wants them, she can too. Or if Austin does. Well, if he will. Got my sticker on it. So yes, thank you for that one, Radium Soup. Storm Chaser, Patrick Pineda, Beyond WX for $20. Thank you very much. Says, have fun, Mike. Please give Will my best. He's local to me here in Colorado. He was kind enough to drop into one of my storm chasing streams this past summer. If you see any whirlwinds, take a picture for me. Ooh, I hope we do not see any in Antarctica. I'm concerned about the wind. Very concerned about the wind. It's windy here, and so we've had, like, when we set up a tripod, we have to be really careful. So I'm hoping that we don't have to struggle with that too bad, or like that it doesn't ruin things for us. So anyway, King Fusion for 3,000 Icelandic kroners says, greetings from Iceland. Have a safe and good trip. Thank you for that, King Fusion. Icy Spin says, I hope Kelsey from 74 Gear is the pilot. Would be epic. Speaking of, so the plane it's ALE's plane, but it's not. They lease it from Icelandic Air. So it's painted with ALE's logo on the tail. But Icelandic Air owns it. So and they just lease it. So that's what they're doing. All right, we got Light Armanoff says, for £10, I meant that being in Antarctica on a globe, walking in a line near east to west, the South Needle, should both ends point to the same point, the South Pole. On a flat Earth, the pole does, the South Pole does. Oh, the pole doesn't exist. Okay, so there's 2 general ideas of the magnetic field on flat Earth. The majority of them think that there's a single pole, with the north end here and the south end there, with the flat Earth on top of it. So the north magnetic pole is then there, and so needles all point north-south in alignment with that. And the south magnetic pole is actually, in reality, measurably in the ocean south of Australia. So if for the Earth to be flat, then you have North Pole here, whoop, South Pole here, right? And this is what it would look like. So then on the top, the magnetic field lines loop like this. But on this area here, then you would have the similar to the globe. You'd have the vertical north inclination here going one way, inclination going the other way here. But South Pole, North Pole, South Pole, North Pole. What do you have over here? Over here, you're not getting closer to the South Pole, so you won't have south inclination. You'll have north inclination, less and less inclination, but it will always be north end of the needle down. And we are in such a place right now, and it was the south end of the needle down. Flat Earth, debunked. So a magnetic, a compass is a magnet. So, and as you know, like attracts, our opposites attract and likes repel. So the north magnetic pole of the Earth and the north magnetic pole of a needle, and yes, I do know, the north magnetic pole of the Earth is actually magnetic south. Don't get confused by that. Don't worry about it. It's not that the pole attracts the end of the needle, and that like there's a piece of metal on the north tip and there's no metal on the south tip, so it just gets pulled in that direction. That's not what it's doing. It's a magnet and it needs to align itself in the field. So both ends can't be pulled down at the same time because that's not how it works. Because if you're over, whichever one is the opposite polarity is going to want to go up instead of down. I hope that explains it. So thank you for clarifying your question there. William Foley says, look north for an upside down Orion. I did. It was really cool. We saw it really clear. Dave and I were standing outside just looking at it. So it was nice. Thank you for that. Burns C says, did you bring enough smug spray? No, we're going to have to go to the store in the morning. Definitely. Shirley Wilson says, do you think Witsit will use this to pivot to conservative media scamming and leave flat Earth? Prediction, Witsit and on Tim Pool next year. Well, he's a clout chaser. And he has floated a couple different things that he's tried to do, but I don't think he's done well. I don't think in the on Modern Day Debate he had a political debate. I think I didn't watch it, but people said he didn't fare well. Same thing with the fluoride debate. Geocentrism doesn't have, nobody cares. So if he pivots to geocentrism, what that won't do anything. So I don't know. Maybe he's thinking about it. Maybe he's not. I know he would love to be on Tim Pool to be some sort of a political commentator. I don't know. So, Otto says, stop counting my age in months now. I had somebody the other day, how old? 16 months. Oh, like a year and a half. Right. Lower Decks says, Lower Decks became a member. Thank you very much, Lower Decks. I appreciate that. Icy Spin says, do you feel like an astronaut night before launch? I kind of do. Yeah. Though I don't know, I've never been an astronaut the night before launch. Greg Anderson has a $2 super chat with no message. Thank you for that, Greg Anderson. We check with Nico and nothing from Nico. Oh, that's right. So thank you, Ion. Critical thing. I'm in this room with him right now and he's sleeping. He is still, so he paid for everything himself already. But it's a lot of money for him. So I will say, if you want, let me recommend that you help. So hold on. I'm looking for his GoFundMe. So he's gotten some money here while talking with him. So I'm looking for it. And so those that have helped, if you're here, thank you very much for helping. I know he's kind of nervous. Like it's a lot, and he paid for it out of pocket. So anything helps to defray that. So where did it go? I'm looking. All right. I'm not finding it. There it is. All right. Let me. So my part was I paid for the room, all of it. So that was my part instead of just half. So all right, I posted the link. Can I pin? No. All right, I can't pin that. So anyway, we should go fund for Will after when we get back. It's a good idea. Have you watched Brain Dead Alive yet? Have been recommending it for a while now. It's Peter Jackson film that's right up your street. Of course, I've seen Brain Dead, Peter Jackson's first film. Dead Alive is his second film. I love them both. Dead Alive I like better. Yes, it's a good movie. It's a bad movie in a good way. You know what I mean? So, all right. Indie Tiger Sci-Fi Review for $10 says, don't forget, this is your chance to see Proxima Centauri as well in South America. Merry Christmas. Proxima Centauri. So the problem is it's cloudy, so we don't get a ton. The nearest star to Earth, where is it? I don't. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know where it is. I don't know if I'll get a chance. Let me look again at the stars, see if they're out yet, if the clouds are bothering. No, still cloudy. Let's see if the camera got nothing so far. So I'm going to stop it. Restart it. It's just clouds. Oh, I'll wait a little longer and try to start it again. That one was nothing. So maybe I've already seen Proxima Centauri. I don't recognize the stars. I don't know them. I've not been down here. So the only ones I recognized was Orion's Belt and Southern Cross. So M2M for £10 says, I bought a new lens and solar filter for TFE, but it's overcast for days to come here in UK. But now at least I can do my own anti-flat Earth experiments and fun with my camera. A great thing that can always be done is to look at where the moon will be, look at where nighttime will be for you, and when the moon will be between you and somewhere else that you can find somebody to take a picture. So you just need two people. You can coordinate this with one other person that's in a spot where between you the moon ever is at some point in time, and say, look, at this date, a month out, the moon will be between us. So let's take pictures at the same time of the moon and check to see if you see opposite sides of it. You won't, because the moon's far away. But yeah, there you go. That's the way you can do it. Greg Anderson says Alpha Kenny 1, which I don't know what that means. Is it a South Park reference? Rodent No Last Name says, will your Grinder app geolocate you in Antarctica? Not going to be launching Grinder. Not going to be installing Grinder. JSS Tiger says, if you find a crevasse in the ice, which flat earther will be the human bridge? Shame on you, JSS Tiger. As funny as that was, shame on you. You need to slap your hand for being naughty. Storm Chaser Patrick Pineda Beyond WX says, here's a freebie for Flat Earth Dave to help him out. To manually remove a database entry, the command is drop table users. If that doesn't work, try rm star. Well, it's a Linux machine. We know where it's hosted. So probably I would say rm-rf/, and then y enter, just in case. Mauricio Corbin says Ice Cube Neutrino Observatory is in the South Pole. Yes, it is right at the South Pole. I would love to see that. I don't know. There's not a whole lot to see. It's just like, well, here's a kilometer cube of ice or whatever size it is, right? And ice. And down under there, in places where you can't see, we put stuff. So yeah. I did watch the Joe Spins the Globe, where he climbed down that tube to where there's an under ice lake, and like that freaked me out a little bit. Like, it was a narrow tube. I'm not claustrophobic, but that like got me a little. And this just, and then you're thinking about it. You're in a little tiny chamber surrounded by water that's stinking cold, and above you is ice that's like trapped under ice. No, thank you. No, thank you. Let's see. All right, hold on. Let's do a live sun check. Do they say it's up now? Do they? Well, there's no sun up now. I don't know what you mean. Who's that? NASA Security Force for $5 says, is the Concorde guy bald? Because that would explain who he was talking about. They think someone is Will's security. Yes. And he's in good shape. Do they really say that? Do they really think that he's... Oh my gosh. Like I said, we were on the opposite end of the table, and Will and him were talking. That's good acting if they were. Oh. Saltex says, steer clear of the Antarctic penguin forests. I will. Yep. I've got my Antarctic bulletproof vest to put on before we go there. Larry Scott says, maybe it's been covered. Will Jonathan be recording both sides equally? I don't. I mean, he's going to try to. Jonathan's really good. It's been great. Like, Will and I start talking about something, and Jonathan will be like, stop. And he'll come and put a microphone on us. They go, all right, keep going. Or he'll start asking me questions, and he's like, I shouldn't ask you. Hold on, stop. Don't answer anymore. He mics me. And then he says, okay, explain it again. So I don't know. I think that's the intention. This is Will's documentary. Will gets to pick. So what the final edit is, Jaron and Austin have, basically they have veto. They don't get a say, but they have veto power. They say, no, I don't like that. That's not acceptable. They're not going to have a problem with it because the sun's going to stay up all day. It's going to do circles. Then what? Right. Ire Torius says, Antarctica experiment predicting and marking the midnight location of the mountain's shadow. Oh, that's kind of cool. That when we get on the ground, we're going to be rocking for a couple hours. So, and by the time we're done setting up, the shadow will be where it is. So, problem is we don't know exactly. We don't know quite the details. I don't know if that mountain's been surveyed super well. So I don't know how high it really is. So I don't know. I have no information on it. Doogie Plus for £5 says, Jaron Stream, is that a wolf? It's just a dog. I wanted it to be something more adventurous. Can you think of any better explanation of example of flirt mentality? Yeah, there's stray dogs everywhere. So many stray dogs. Saw one today that was laying down, just laying there chilling on the sidewalk, and we walked up to it, like walked by it, and kind of lifted up his head and looked at us. And he was an old little doggo, old tired doggo, just laying there, happy as can be. But you could tell he wasn't 100% healthy. And they warned us, so like the street dogs especially, like they have a disease. Don't pet them. You don't want that. So, and yeah, so there are two people running on the path today, and there's a dog like following them. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's their dog. But that dog chased another dog, and the runners just kept going. Like, it wasn't their dog. The dog was just running with them. So, yeah, there's not that kind of wildlife here. So, Stringfellow Hawk for $10 says, flirts have no problem with 24-hour sun at the North Pole, but do you think they can explain 24-hour darkness at the North Pole with 24-hour sun at the South Pole? Both don't work on their map. Of course they don't. And they still think that map. Like, oh, that's not our map. Then what's your map? We don't need a map. You do. 100,000 flights a day need a map. Darkstar 4400, thank you very much. Says, do you think you'll be able to sleep much tonight? I know I wouldn't. By the way, just call me Darkstar. It's faster. All right, Darkstar. Jonathan interviewed everybody today, and he had me set this up on the floor next to me here, like this, right? It sat there for the interview, like that. There you go. We need a name. We need a name for the camera. All right, Darkstar, you get to pick it. Everybody, put out your ideas for a name. Darkstar gets to pick. All right, name for the camera. Jonathan said we need a name for it, so there we go. Kango44 says, just watch Witsit stream saying that seeing a 24-hour sun is a win for Flat Earth. That's so delusional. Like, everybody, like, he actually thought it was a win for them? That guy's nuts. NASA Security Force says, I wish PhD Tony was there. It would be priceless. Oh, yeah. PJ Tony going Krakatoni on Witsit would be fantastic. But at dinner tonight, the best. It was somebody that is an absolute seasoned veteran expert in knowing what can and cannot be done in Antarctica, and knowing that people have done all of the things that flat earthers say have never been done. Like, oh yeah, they came through here, this much ago. All of these things have happened. First-hand experience. Like, nobody's ever done this. Oh yeah, we did it the other day. Over and over and over. It's great. It's great. It's the denial with the absolute. Just no. We did it. You can't. It's glorious. No recording of it though. Kango44 says, Miker, your dinner with Jaron and Witsit looked like it sucked. No, it was fine. It was fine. It wasn't bad. We've had 3 dinners together. They were good. They were less and less. Well, the first night was the only one that was kind of intense. So Hawes King 95 says, Hollow Earth will be the next grifters. I don't think so. And I don't think the concavers are going to be doing anything, but time will tell. NASA Security Force says it was on the live stream. Watch it. Watch what on the live stream? I don't know what was on the live stream. Can you, all right, I'm watching the live chat. So name it Dave Dubé Oakley so they can make their presence. Oh, name this Dave Dubé Oakley. Funny. All right, the concave conclave, the bald security. Are these all suggestions for Darkstar? All right. We got X Penguin 95 says we are watching you. I know. Okay. I don't get the context of that. Stephen Geibel says MC2, and be sure to look for the technology left by the ancients. For those of you that watched Stargate, oh, and a damn sundial. We've got a couple sundials of our own making. The Geronometer is. I love the Geronometer. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love the Geronometer. It's so good. Greg Anderson says my Dixie wrecked and Alpha Kenny won. Lake Titicaca. I don't know what this riddle is here. Hold on. How do I point at that? This riddle. My Dixie wrecked and Alpha Kenny won. Lake Titicaca. Get that part, last part, but literally scratching my head. Lazy Survivor says, I'm sure this was already asked. Why counter at 0? Because it's 0 days. The day that we go is this day, December 14. It's 1:35 a.m. 0. Day 0. It's not tomorrow. If it was tomorrow, it would be 1. Day 0. That's why. Indie Tiger Sci-Fi review for $20 is Proxima Centauri Right Ascension 14-hour 28 9 minutes 43 seconds. Declination neg 62 40 minute 46 seconds. One of the brightest stars in the southern hemisphere on constellation Centaurus. Kind of looks like a capital letter B with arms and legs. Declination negative 62. Okay, so that would be, yeah, might have been on the edge of the star trails. I don't know. I'm not sure if it was in there. Okay, if it's the brightest one, I don't know. So I could see. Here's what I could see. I could see the I'll draw it here. We got the center of the pole right here, right? And then it was like the Southern Cross was like here, right? Right about there. So trying to fit. All right, there we go. Center of rotation, Southern Cross. That's how it was. Where is Proxima Centauri in that? Good luck explaining it so I can understand. Kago44 says, "Has Witsit managed to e-bag enough stuff to record the 24-hour sun?" I doubt it. I don't know. It's like a kid that got the car seat thing with the little plastic toy steering wheel with the beep beep and the shifter. That's what it is. Like I got a compass. Wee beep beep, shifting gears. Wee. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't. What are you going to test with the compass? Right at the end, they're gonna go, oh, I don't know. Something's really weird with that compass. That's about it. What's really weird? What's the expectation? Don't know. Storm Chaser, Patrick Pineda says, okay, one last minute experiment. Can you prove Earth body 4 corner time equals 4 leg mobility? Earth has 4 days simultaneous each rotation. Was that a riddle? Can you prove Earth body 4 corner time equals 4 leg mobility? Is this from DMOC? Dirt in the middle? That doesn't make, I'm sorry, that doesn't make sense. Deadpool 2028 says camera name equals Epic Dubay? Epic Dubay. I don't know. Barry F says stand on your head in Antarctica to prove gravity is real. Oh my gosh. We know all that gear. PhD Tony is here, says I felt like I would just spend all my time telling Witsit what a loser he is. I have an extensive selection of synonyms available. Indeed you do. X-Penguin 95 says armed penguins are watching you already. And he's an ex-penguin, he would know. Kango44 says call the camera John after John Carpenter as he made a movie Dark Star. There you go. Let Dark Star know. Dark Star says there are so many terrific contenders, but I think the Flurfinator wins, as I was going to go with Cambot, but that may be copyrighted. All right, the Flurfinator it is. How you doing, Flurfinator? Really? You're excited to go too? Oh, all right. Get good rest tonight, okay? Yeah, you're going to be busy and cold. But you got your coat on, right? You're gonna be cold for the next couple of days, but you're tough. You can handle it. Flurfinator, all right? So it has been said. Thank you, Darkstar. Darkstar says time cube, storm chaser. Haha. All right. Icy Spin says less than 0.1% of people have visited Antarctica. It's probably even less than that, isn't it? I don't know what the number is. Certainly very small. It's a club that not a lot of people have been in. I'm honored to be in that club next to you. Larry Scott says camera name Ranty. Are you Ranty? Darkstar gets to pick. Darkstar gets to pick. NASA Security Force says the camera looks like Johnny Five. What it is. So I have so you know these. It comes with a plastic case, and I upgraded to this metal case because this metal case has these two. Here we go. I'll show you right here. It has this quarter 20 mount on it right there, and it also has you can mount the GoPro. You can mount on not the GoPro on a action cam mount right here too, so you can mount it vertically and horizontally. And then on the top here, it's got another one. And a cold shoe adapter right there. This is for the microphone. That's to start and stop. It's a pass-through button to start and stop recording. And on this side, it's got a pass-through button for the power. And it's got access to the door. I removed the door because it would fall off us a couple times. So I'm like, take it off. So I'm going to leave it. It's going to be plugged in almost all the time. So that and then this whole part folds down so I can get to the card. So and each day I'll be swapping out the card. While I've been here, I've just downloaded the card. So and then these are on it, the quarter 20 connection, and then it's got a cold shoe, but it's got a little. It's hard to see, but it's got a little piece of spring steel there pressing up against it so that when I put in the microphone, here's what I do. The microphone has a, what is this? Oh, okay. This is the microphone. It's a wireless Bluetooth mic, right? And it'll clip on a collar or something, but this also goes into a cold shoe. It's the right size. So I put it in here, and that spring steel holds it in place so it won't fall out. That's why I got these couple little adapters. So then I put them on the camera, and I can store them on the camera basically. They don't sit at the right angle. So my hope was that one would face me and one would face out, but they don't quite. But the microphones are pretty good. Anyway, even if they're not hypercardioid. So there's the other one. So there you go. This is what it looks like then. Mini little studio is what this is. So there you go. All right. And yeah, that's what it'll look like actually in Antarctica. So this is the case. They sit and they charge in this case. USB-C. Camera's USB-C. I got all these bricks USB-C. So things don't last as long as the cold, but I've got bricks and bricks and bricks. So there you go. Okay. I gotta catch up again. Fletcher Boy for $4.99 says waiting for the official response from the florist. Oh yeah. Call the Discord servers and watch the code. Remember though, ask about the 24-hour moon. This is the 1-2 punch, right? They're just freaking out about the sun. Ask them about the moon. Because all of the excuses that they've been winding up with themselves with about the 24-hour sun doesn't work on the moon. Doesn't work. The Witch of the Wood for $10 says, I'm incredibly jealous that you had the opportunity to go on this trip. I hope you and the rest of the normal people have an amazing time, and we are absolutely enjoying it. Smiles all the time here. Not a lot of sleep, though. James Malherby for 70 ZARs? Where ZAR is from? Anyway, says, do you weigh less in Antarctica due to the less centrifugal force? Yes, we do. Definitely confirmed that. Critical Think is on top of that, and we have confirmed the rotation and radius of the Earth. So we got Bob says, I don't have tattoos, but if I ever get to Antarctica, I might get one to commemorate. Thoughts of doing that? That came up today at dinner. I asked our host, our liaison, what are there any good tattoo shops around? Because Will wants to get a tattoo when we get back. And the guy starts answering, and Will's like, no, I don't, I'm not Will's not into tattoos. And I'm like, I'd get a tattoo, right? I'll match this one here. I get, I don't know, I'd get a compass rose that has north on all four corners. That'd be fun. Or an Antarctica tattoo. Like on this side, I'd do that. I don't know. We only have 2 days after we're back. Kango44 says, this connection seems great. Is this Starlink? Maybe FTP could move down there. His streams would drop out less. This is cell phone. This is cell phone in a second world country, baby. Icy Spin says, one thing you learned in Antarctica Camp 101 class. Well, I mentioned it before. Keep your pee bottle at night in your where? In your sleeping bag with you. Yeah. So it doesn't freeze, because if it freezes, there's no way to melt it. So worst, well, close it tight. I usually don't, like, I'll go to bed and I won't pee until the morning. So I don't know. We'll see. Oh no. Oh no. I passed one here. So I need to see. Arnold says, I presume at some point you'll be listening to Megadeth, Burnt Ice, and Melt the Ice Away. And Grandpa Dave would be proud, unless it's a flirt. He's not a flirt. But I've got Spotify, and if we have internet, good internet, then yeah. I haven't thought about doing that, but I guess I could. We got Bob Frog 99 says, stay safe on this spectacular adventure. Thank you very much for that. I intend to. Lower Decks for $5 says, will your agreement to not record the flare affect your plan to upload all raw footage you've taken of the trip? Essentially, no. The agreement I have is with ALE. They're like, we want you to sign this paper that says that you'll abide by ALE's rules. Like, we already signed a paper saying we'll abide by ALE's rules. Why do we need to sign another paper that abide by ALE's rules? And Austin's like, well, then if you violate that, then ALE will have to sue. Like, no, they wouldn't. You'd still have to sue, right? If you were filmed without consent by somebody else at the camp, you don't have to go through ALE to sue. You just sue, right? Austin didn't know that. That was a surprise to him. So we got Tim Oren says, do you think there will be any more confrontations within the group the rest of the trip? Will the flat earthers concede after seeing the evidence? I am doing my best to have no more confrontations. Okay. Will the flat earthers concede after seeing the evidence? I don't know. I think there will be different responses. How about that? I'll say that. different. Well, different of them will have different. They won't all have the same response. I think that's correct. Alex Perez says, are there any other things you're looking to test while in Antarctica other than recording the sun? Yes, we have a total of 16 experiments listed in here. If you go to my website, mc2.net/tfe-experiments, you will find the list of 16 along with the predictions. They include things like measuring the gravitational strength, measuring the magnetic field strength, measuring the magnetic inclination, measuring the angular size of the sun, measuring sunrise and sunset here, which we've already done, but there won't be one there. The angles, the azimuth angles to them. Measuring the length of longitude, which we will do in Antarctica. We did here. We didn't. We did record the data in here, but didn't do the math yet. So that we'll do after we get home. I did Eratosthenes. So the Eratosthenes, turns out the Earth is a globe and it's got a radius of just the one I measured was a tiny bit under 6371. It was 622 something. So like within about 2% of the known radius of the globe. So bonus. So we're going to do it in Antarctica, both at local solar midnight and local solar noon. You normally can't do Eratosthenes at midnight. It's a rare opportunity. So there you go. That's going to be a cool one. We got Tori Ingle says, do Flurfs suspect Lisbeth is a shill yet? Not Austin and Jaron, they know. They don't. The other flatties, they do. Yeah. They've made, and she learned quickly. She was talking about it. All of the different accusations that flatties made against her instantly. She was rather disgusted by them. Shame on you, flatties. Quit that. Tim Stokely for $2 says, thank you very much for that, Tim. I don't see any message, but thank you for it. We got Ruhif says go to bed. Okay. Ruhif, thanks for the help today from Will. We appreciate that. And also Ruhif, yeah, I think you're right on the diffraction. I think you're right. I may be peckish for some crow, and I'll do that. Oh yeah, that's right. The video of Jim Brewer, Craig and I and Jim Brewer dropped today, the day before we go into Antarctica. Hello, new people. If this is your first time because of Jim Brewer, welcome. Glad to have you. We have a lot of fun here, crushing Flurfs. This is my live channel. Go to my Conspiracy Tunes channel if you want to see pre-recorded videos. No matter what, this is good stuff. Astronaut 66 sends any hints on the measured distance between longitude lines at 53 degrees south latitude, or is it too early to reveal that info? It is not too early. I will tell you. All right, get ready to write this down. I'll give you one measurement. They're all very close to each other, so you can get a super close value already. Hopefully we get dip of the horizon tomorrow. I really hope that's going to work out. All right, we did it 4 times. So are you ready? You're gonna have to write this down. Astronaut 66. Somebody write it down. Started at 53 degrees, 09.814 minutes. 70 degrees, 53.805 minutes. That's our starting point. Ending point, 53 degrees, 09.819 minutes. A difference of 5 1,000ths of an arc minute in the latitude. So real close there. So we marked a spot on the sidewalk to start and end, and then they just walked it. Did I read the end? Anyway, yeah, 53 degrees, 09.819 minutes, and then the longitude is 70 degrees, 53.568 minutes. Okay. And the distance measured was 264.2 meters. There you go, 264.2 meters. So we have not done any more than just write it down. So you can do that. We'll do a more thorough analysis later. I probably will do just one video dedicated to each of these experiments. I've not been able to do celestial navigation. It looks like I won't be able to tonight either. So that's one of the experiments not able to be completed. So we had stars last night. I didn't bring the sextant out, and I didn't think to just use my phone because my phone can measure with the theodolite app. So Where's Wally says, Jaron is going to do a cool experiment using a magnifying glass to burn paper at noon and then again at midnight. Oh, there you go. I like that one. And where's Wally? The Jaronometer. I love it. It's so good. It's such a great name, great experiment. It's really cool. Pat Pylon for 10 Canadian says, so if you weigh less, you can jump 10 feet in the air, right? Otherwise, flat Earth confirmed. No. Oh, yeah, that's right. Another test we're going to be doing, jumping on a plane. If you jump on a plane, do you fly to the back? Going to get people on video jumping on a plane to see if they fly to the back. And if they don't fly to the back, then every flatty that says, how come you can't hover a helicopter? Just play that video. Just play that video. Lisbeth, back to globe if sun no SETI? Could be. I think they all should. Tim Stoklas for $5 says, has Austin figured out any sort of experiment to do, or is he still worried about raising money to get home? I messed up on the first. Lesson learned. I don't think he has any experiments. I don't know. He's like, I totally forgot I was going. Like before, like 2 days before, I totally forgot I was going. And then I looked and my tripod's all broken. And this broken. And this broken. Like 2 days before? That's 2 months before I was digging stuff out. Like the day I said I'm gonna go, I'm like, I gotta get this. I'm like, because I own tripods. I brought 3 tripods. 2 of them I already owned. 1 of them I purchased new. 1 of the old ones didn't work well. It's not in good shape. But I brought it because it's going to be the gnomon for one of the experiments. So yeah, it was dumb. Shadow Doc for $5 says, is it still a go for tomorrow? Or is that something you won't find out until it's time to leave? Hope you get this one. Didn't catch my last super chat. Did I miss? I'm trying to catch them all. I'm really sorry. It's a go. We are to meet at 8 o'clock in the lobby, and the flight time then is 3 hours later. So unless we hear different news in the morning, that's the time we're going. So pretty pumped for that. Ryan Stutzman says, so Lisbeth thinks governments, scientists, NASA pilots, etc., are lying about when the fellow flat earthers think she's lying. She's surprised. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, all right. I need to call my wife. I got to call my wife before I go to bed. What time? It's 11. It's 11 at home. I'm excited. I'm very excited. So let me say, thank you so much, everybody. I just, like, I can't go to sleep. Try, but I'm just so grateful that you all did so much to help, and it's going to be crazy. We've put together a schedule for doing different things. So be looking for 24 hours from right now, live stream. Be looking for that. All right. So anyway, got 2 more super chats. That's it. I gotta cut it now because I have to go. I have to call my wife. Indie Tiger Sci-Fi Review for $5 says, I just sent you an email with a screenshot showing the location of Proxima Centauri. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Thank you very much for that. I'll have a look. Hopefully when we get back, we will have some clear skies. And then Zebulon 181 for $5 says, you guys all stay warm down there. What happens in Antarctica stays in Antarctica. No, we're documenting it all. So no, we're not. We're not. But you know what I do have? I've got an outro song for you, and I'm going to play it on the way out. And once again, thank you, everybody. Look for a live stream 24 hours from right now.
What is a full moon and what is a new moon on your model?
Probably like a magnetic cycle, and just like the center of a ferrocell image of a magnet.
Just like the center of a ferrocell spiral. Image of a magnet, it's just black in the middle. It's actually pure inertia, not just a little. In the ferrocell image of a magnet, it actually goes into its inertial state, then charges back up. It becomes like etherically displaced. Yeah. You start to see it charge up once more, and it goes back like it did before. Once it becomes like etherically spaced, you see it charge up and take its place. Oh, shucks, ain't that so? That's how moon phases work, fam. Pass the dresser. In the magnet's heart, centrifugal divergence flies, centripetal convergence pulls. But fine all science, etheric whispers sing, light and shadow blend, magnetic cycles spin, where physics seems to end. In the ferrocell image of a magnet, it actually goes into its inertial state, then charges back up. It becomes like etherically displaced. Yeehaw! Grab your partner, swing around, magnetic cycles up and down. Either song in the air, hillbilly science everywhere, cause it's like etherically displaced. Yeehaw! Belly on up to the Wixit word salad buffet. Who has light vinaigrettes? Behind the Jugger Ranch.
Then charges back up, and once it becomes like etherically displaced again, you start to see it charge up throughout a cycle, and then it goes back.